Every time you open your bank app with a racing heart, you aren't just checking a balance, you are issuing a command to the field. To your brain, financial anxiety is indistinguishable from a physical predator. When you see a number that scares you, your body enters fight or flight mode. This creates a biochemical lie detector effect. While your words may say, "I want abundance," your nervous system is screaming, "Danger." In this state of survival, your biology is programmed to find more things to fear, not more ways to prosper. Evolution does not care about your wealth, it only cares about your safety. If you are in panic mode, your brain shuts down the creation centers to focus on survival. You become literally incapable of seeing the opportunities right in front of you. Today, we perform a financial nervous system audit to cool the wires and let the current flow.
You have a biological filter called the Reticular Activating System, or RAS. Think of it as a search engine for your reality. Your RAS processes millions of bits of data every second, but it only shows you what you have told it is important. If your internal state is tuned to lack, your RAS will literally filter out opportunities for wealth because they don't match your dominant frequency. It isn't that money is missing, it is that your biological hardware is blind to it. Think of it like this. Have you ever decided you wanted a specific car and suddenly you saw that car everywhere? The cars were always there. Your RAS just started letting them through the filter. To manifest wealth, we don't need to try harder. We need to reprogram the search parameters of the RAS so it begins to spot the hidden doors that were always there. We do this by changing the observed data before we look at the bank account.
Nikola Tesla understood that everything is a symphony of vibrations. Consider money not as a solid object, but as a current. This is why we call it currency. In physics, resistance in a wire creates heat and stops the flow of electricity. In your life, fear and doubt are the resistance. If your financial wire is hot with anxiety, the abundance cannot reach the bulb. To fix the result, we must down-regulate the nervous system from survival mode to creation mode. Tesla believed the numbers 3, 6, and 9 were the keys to the universe because they represent the blueprint of energy itself. When you align your financial goals with these frequencies, you are moving with the grain of reality rather than against it. We are going to stop fighting the static and start engineering the flow.
To anchor this new frequency, we must first ensure your order to the field is precise. We use the SPEC method to build the software before we run it on the hardware of your nervous system. First, you select. You must be surgically clear. Do not say, "I want more money." That is a weak signal. Choose a specific financial target or a clear sense of safety. Second, you project. You must imagine your desire as if it is already accomplished. Do not just think about the goal. Immerse yourself in the feeling of the security it brings until your nervous system accepts it as a present tense fact. Third, you expect. You foster a sincere belief in the mechanics of the process. You don't hope the current will flow. You know it will because you have removed the resistance. Finally, you collect. You stay receptive to opportunities that align with your objective and take inspired action.
Once your SPEC order is defined, we use the 3-6-9 method as the carrier wave to anchor this frequency into your subconscious. In the morning, write your affirmation 3 times. Focus on the sense of safety that comes with your goal. This sets your baseline. In the afternoon, write it 6 times. Use the 4-6 breath. Inhale for 4, exhale for 6. This physical act tells your heart the danger is over, allowing the signal to amplify. Before bed, write it 9 times. Hand this blueprint to your subconscious just as you enter the hypnagogic state.
This rhythm is neurological surgery that resolves the gap between where you are and where you choose to be. When you combine a precise order with a steady rhythm, the current of wealth has no choice but to follow the path you have engineered.
Once you have completed your morning ritual, the real work begins. We call this the 24-hour signal. Most seekers treat their manifestation like a doctor visit. They do it once and then go back to their old habits. But the field does not respond to a single moment of focus. It responds to your dominant frequency. If you spend 15 minutes in abundance and 15 hours in lack, the math of your reality will always favor the lack. Your nervous system is like a thermostat. If you set it to wealth in the morning, but let the cold air of financial stress in all day, the temperature of your life will never rise. To maintain the current, you must practice aligned awareness. This is not about working harder or chasing money. It is about making decisions from the state of the person who already has the result. Throughout your day, whenever you face a financial choice, ask yourself a simple question. Would a person with a regulated and prosperous nervous system make this choice? This creates a bridge of inspired action. It is how the current moves from the quantum realm into your physical hands. You are not just writing in a journal. You are training yourself to live as the person the journal describes. When you hold the frequency long enough, the physical world has no choice but to harden into the facts you have already established. To see this in action, consider the story of an out-of-work actor in the early 1990s named Jim Carrey. He was struggling, but he refused to identify with his empty bank account. Instead, he wrote himself a check for $10 million for services rendered and kept it in his wallet. He didn't just wish for it. Every day, he drove up to Mulholland Drive, looked at the city, and felt what it would be like to be a world-class actor. He was projecting the image and expecting the result with total certainty. He didn't wait to have the money to be successful. He assumed the state of a successful actor before the world ever clapped for him. 5 years later, to the day, he signed a contract for exactly $10 million for his role in Dumb and Dumber. His mind was the motor of the vibration. The universe simply filled the order he had precisely placed. Like Jim Carrey, your reality responds to the order you place with your nervous system. Stop the panic command, audit your wires, and let the current flow.
On this channel, we bridge the gap between spiritual insight and scientific fact, replacing mystery with the logic of reality. Subscribe and join our community of architects. We don't just hope for change here, we understand the physics of it. Master the signal, and the screen must follow. Thank you for watching.